Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Kat Tall. I'm player number 428 on Beast Games, and welcome to my episode 1 recap. I just want to say sorry for this being a little late. My camera actually broke, so I have been out of commission for a few weeks, which is really cool. Honestly, this is kind of just my style anyways, releasing things like so late, so get used to it. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of comments about how I got on the show, and I already addressed that in the last video I made. I will link that right here so that you can go watch that first and get those questions answered. So let's talk about pre-shoot. Getting to Canada was kind of difficult because there was rain. A lot of it. Very, very bad flooding in Toronto. Because of that, our filming was delayed by quite a bit, but it ended up being so fun because there was a few days that literally it was just like me and my friends in the hotel hanging out, and that was awesome. Honestly, like one of my favorite parts of the whole experience. I think I was in Canada for like 3 days maybe, and then they were like, okay, like we're gonna start filming tomorrow, so be ready. So nerve-wracking. I knew it was gonna be so much bigger than Vegas. I had no idea what to expect. It's the first season of the show. None of us have any idea what it's gonna be like. It was the calm before the storm, I guess. So when we first got there, the first thing he did was literally give away $1 million. I had one of my friends take this because she just like had to get back to college, and it was like easy 20K. Guys, I was also in college and I was fully just like, no, I'm gonna skip this semester. It was not a bad move of her to literally come in, take 20K, and then go back to college. Like that, she kind of balled out, I'm not even gonna lie. Something that they didn't show in the episode that was actually really cool was there was a proposal. The first guy to hit the button ended up going up to his girlfriend, I guess, and proposing to her, and she said yes. Oh my gosh, I actually forgot about this. They did like a cameo of my face. I'm pulling such a like weird expression. All my mom's friends on Facebook were like posting it. I was done so dirty. Grateful for the screen time. Thanks. So the first official challenge was a self-sacrifice challenge, which those were just my favorite. We were in our rows and it was like one person has to sacrifice in your row, and it's like the last 3 rows to get someone to sacrifice or out. Okay, well, I'm not sacrificing myself, so it's like who's gonna do it? I talked to a lot of the people in my row and everyone was pretty set on being there, which makes sense. The timer started and honestly I didn't even know what the strategy was, and suddenly like green under us, like I hear screaming and I'm like, what? And I look under my feet and my platform's green and I'm like, oh my gosh, we were the very first row to be saved, which was awesome. The rest of the challenge I kind of just got to sit there and watch, which is a pretty good feeling. I had a few friends that were in the first and second row and it was sad seeing them go. It was the first time I had to watch one of my friends get eliminated. I will say watching people drop was really cool. It was so silent. You could hear a pin drop and you just hear someone scream as they fall. The next game was the block challenge. We saw the blocks on our platforms and had a lot of different ideas about it. For some reason, I did not think we were going to be building block towers. I just thought that would be too simple. The thing was, the platforms we were on obviously had a trapdoor in the middle, right? And it kind of was like rickety. I need this tower to stay up as long as possible. We're going to put it on the edge, which maybe that's like risky, but at least I know it's like flat and it'll stay. So I started building my tower. Don't need to be an engineer anytime soon. Don't need to be an architect. My tower sucked, to put it quite simply. So I get like 5 minutes in, this is not gonna stay up. And so I'm rebuilding, and then at like the 2-minute mark, I'm like, I'm just so nervous about the edge. It's now or never. And so I put my base block in the middle of my platform, and I look at my friend who's built his tower, and I'm like, help me. And he's like, all right, you're gonna put the 2 triangle blocks together, you're gonna put this one on top, you're gonna put this one on top. And honestly, his strategy was really good. If your life ever depends on building a block tower, try this. Build like the structure on the floor and then transfer it to the rectangle. The only issue being that we were so pressed for time. The most adrenaline I've ever had in me, probably in my life. Like it was honestly not even enjoyable. I was shaking so hard. And I have it all built and I'm trying to transfer it to the red block. And he's like, don't look at the time. I look at the time, I have 20 seconds. 20 seconds. I start to panic. And maybe that's not the best decision, but like, whatever, I don't really care. Hindsight is 2020. Despite my best try, like I cannot get my block centered on my base block. I don't know how much time is left because I'm staring at my tower, and if I'm touching the tower when the timer goes off, then I'm definitely out. Like I'm holding it and I stand up with it and he's like, okay, let go of your towers. Guys, mine immediately falls. Right off the bat, it falls. I'm gonna have to tell my parents that I lost $5 million on building a block tower. So I sit there, I'm like, I've accepted my fate. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm going home. So my friends are looking at me from their towers, trying to be like, are you good? Like, and I'm like, my platform hadn't turned red. So I was like, am I good? Somehow, some way, 100 towers had fallen before the end of the challenge. Some miracle, by some miracle. Even though mine fell, literally as the timer went off, we stayed in. Yeah, it was great. But at this point, there's one more challenge until we can get to the city. And he's like, all right, basically, your like columns that you're in, 7 across, 8 across, however many, we're gonna offer amounts of money and you can press the button and take it, but all of you in your column will be eliminated. I know, guys, I know what you're gonna say. You're like, Kat, like, why did you not take the 100K? Nothing I didn't hear from my parents. Yeah, I didn't take the money, okay? Sue me. I didn't take the money. Sorry. Here's what you guys don't understand, okay? I know you're like, those are just strangers, like, why does it matter? Guys, no, all right? I've actually known these guys for 5 hours. We're not strangers anymore. I mean, you gotta think, like, we've been at the hotels together because they had us, like, organized by row on the bus, right? I've met these people, like, I've talked to them. I know a lot of their life stories. However, there was 2 people in my row that I did not know. I gotta come up with a plan. We're gonna have everyone pair up with someone and just talk the whole time. Maybe I'm not solid with the 2 people in the end, but I know the people next to them and I'm pretty solid with them. So I'm like, all right, if they're all talking, we'll be good. Here's where things start to go wrong. My girl that I've got on this end falls asleep. I've got this dude on the end I don't know nothing about. My girl that's supposed to be keeping him in check is passed out, but my row made it through. Woo! It was honestly one of the very best parts of that first episode. What was crazy in this challenge is that, I mean, obviously we made friends with like the rows next to us, and I had so many friends in the row right next to me that I was talking to. I thought they were all really solid people. Someone in their row took 80K. It was like all the eliminations in the rows were happening so far from me that I was like, oh, it's fine, we're good. And then one happened right next to us, and it's like, oh my gosh, like, had my number been off 1, literally had I been 427, I would have been out. Like, that's 1 number off of mine. The last thing y'all see in this episode is we got to go into the city. You can't really tell in the show, but it was like probably 4 a.m. at this point when we actually got there. Nothing felt real. Like, it was, we're in Canada, like I'm in a different country and I'm running around this city built by one of the like top YouTubers with like people that have literally become my best friends. Like, how is this real? We just ran around and like, I remember we all went on the bleachers because they called us over for like a meeting. They're just talking about, they're like, this is your home, like enjoy it. And I'm watching the sunrise. Life is so crazy. Like, how will I ever go back to just like living a normal life after this? I truly wish that everyone could experience something like this because, oh my gosh. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I have some really exciting videos coming up that you don't want to miss. 428 out.